So for this problem, they give you three pieces of information and they want you to find f of x. So before we start, I want to go over just a simple concept. So if I have this function, right, f of x equals x squared, and I take the derivative of it, right, it'll become 2x. If I take the derivative again, it'll become 2. So if I take the integral now, right, if I take the integral of this, it will equal 2x plus c. So the integral of this, right, equals f prime of x. So that's what I'm going to apply here. I'm going to say that since f double prime of x is x squared, right, that equals the integral of this function will equal f prime, right? So the integral of x squared will equal f prime. So now I'm going to take the integral. So to review the integral rules, we have x to the nth power, right? X to the second power. And we have 1 over n plus 1, x to the n plus 1 plus c. So that's what I'm going to do here. So in this case, n is 2, so I'm going to have 1 over 2 plus 1, x, and then 2 plus 1. So now I just finished it. So 1 over 2 plus 1 is 1/3. X, 2 plus 1 is 3, so x to the third power, plus c. Now what we can do is, using our information, right, we have f prime is of 0 is equal to 3. So now since we actually have the equation for f prime, we can plug in 0, right? So the piece of information given is f prime of 0 is equal to 3. So now since we have our equation, we can actually plug in 0 for x. So I'll plug in 0 and I'll get this is 0 plus c is equal to 3. Well, now we just found out what c is, right? C is 3. So continuing on, I'm going to do the same thing that I did for the last one, but now for f of x. So the integral of this equation will equal f of x, right? So now since I do that, once again, I'm just going to apply the same rule. So I'll just pull out 1/3 and then do the same thing. 1 over n, 3 plus 1, and then n plus 1, so 3 plus 1 right there. I just put the 1/3 to the side and continued using the normal rules. So 1 over n plus 1 is 3 plus 1, and then 3 plus 1. And then we have 3x, right? Because if we have just a number, we're just going to add on an x. And then we just simplify all this. So 1 over 4, we keep the 1/3, x to the 4th plus 3x. Now we multiply these two, and it'll become 1 over 12, x to the 4th power plus 3x plus c. Now we do the same thing we did before, which is now since we have the equation, we can use this given piece of information, so we can plug in 0 and get the answer of 2. So for our equation right here, we have our equation, right? And so all I'm going to do is plug in 0 for this equation, and it will all equal 2. So plugging in 0 gives me 0 for these two answers. I have c equals 2, and so therefore c equals 2. And then your final equation will be this, right? And then now since we know what c is, I just plug in 2 for the answer. And that's our final answer, because the actual question asked for what is f of x, the equation, and we finally received the equation at the end. So the main thing done, the main underlying concept is just this, that the integral of this is equal to f prime of x, right? The integral of f double prime is equal to f prime x, and that's the main concept you need to know to understand this problem. I hope that helped, and thanks for watching.